Welcome back! This is one of my favorite classes and I'm gonna enjoy so much transmitting this teaching to you. So in this class we're gonna be exploring real carnivores in nature and we're gonna be comparing them with us humans. So some people believe that humans are carnivores just because we've done the practice of eating meat, okay? But if you think about it, just because you practice something, I don't know if that makes you that thing that they claim. For example, humans also eat candy. That means that's meant to belong to the body. Well, no, okay? So that doesn't make sense, that thought of because we do it, that means we are, okay? So let's start exploring carnivores in nature and let's compare it with us. So first of all, the most clear thing is the claws, okay? Our lack of claws makes ripening skin or tough flesh extremely difficult for us. We cannot do that, but all carnivores can ripe the skin of any other animal and ripe the flesh too, okay? We possess much weaker, flat fingernails. I don't see the claws here, okay? That's one of the first and major differences. So, because if we were real carnivores, we would, like nature would give us all the tools that we need physiologically talking, biologically talking, to accomplish that, to get our food, okay? Not with weapons and tools. That's kind of like cheating. That's not our physiology. That's not our nature, okay? Let's continue with the hands. We humans have opposable thumbs. We could no more catch and rip the skin or tough flesh of a deer or a zebra just bare hand, okay? In the same way that a lion couldn't grab a fruit from a tree or a veggie or an avocado, okay? We have opposable thumbs. They don't, okay? All carnivores don't. It's not that some yes, some no. Here, what we're talking about here is like every carnivore, okay? Let's see at births. So humans usually give birth, have children one at a time. Usually one at a time. But carnivores, typically, always, they have multiple babies at one time. It's completely different. So this makes carnivores also, they have multiple teeth at the same times. I've never seen a woman with multiple teeth. Only 2 teeth, okay? Tongues. How are the tongues of carnivores? They're rough. They have rasping tongues because this is how they work better for their diet. All other species, all other creatures in nature, including us, we have smooth tongues, okay? Soft ones. All carnivores have tails, okay? Including omnivores, including cats and dogs, which are omnivores. They also have tails, okay? We humans, we don't, okay? Walking. All carnivores in nature, they walk in 4 legs. We don't. We only have 2. Okay? This one, the next one is very important. Intestinal length. Okay? Our intestinal tracts is 12 times the length of our torso. So if you want to measure how long your intestinal tract is, just consider 12 times more this. So all carnivores in nature, their digestive tract is only 3 times the length of their torso. Why? Because if it's too long, the intestines, meat gets rotten inside of the intestinal tract if it's too long. And that's what happens to humans. That's why when you go to the bathroom, if you eat meat, or every person who eats meat, it smells horrible because the meat gets putrefied. Okay, because it's too long, the tubes, to get to the other side of the tube before rotting. Okay, that's why all carnivores, they have a small digestive tract, okay? Because they eat meat and they need to take it out relative fast. I'm talking about the intestines, but we're going to talk about this a little bit later with more depth. The carnivore depends upon highly acidic secretions to facilitate the rapid digestion, okay, and absorption in the short tube. We humans don't have that same level of acidity, of acid digestive juices, okay, but we're gonna enter that in a little bit more later, a little bit more detail a bit later. Sleep. Humans usually spend in a cycle of 24 hours, 2/3 of the day awake, active. Carnivores, by the other side, they're the opposite. They sleep like 18 to 20 hours, okay? Real carnivores. Perspirations. Humans sweat through the pores of their skin, and carnivores, they sweat from the tongues. Have you ever seen a dog after running too much, or when it's hot, that they do? They are cooling down their bodies. I've never seen a human do that. Why? Because we're completely different than carnivores. Okay? Vision. We see with colors to differentiate ripe fruit from unripe fruit, and to see fruit in nature to call our attention. Okay? That's why fruits are so colorful, and veggies too, because they need to call our attention. Okay? But by the other side, meat eaters don't typically see in full colors because they don't need to. Okay? Jaw movements. All carnivores, they only have this movement. Okay? Bite, ripe, swallow. Okay? If your jaw moves like this, sideways, it means that you're 100% herbivore. Okay? Plant eater. Okay? Molars. Some people claim, no, look at my jaws, right? I have super strong jaws. Okay, don't get mad at me. The molars of a carnivore are pointed and sharp. Those are really real jaws, okay, to enter to the skin and the flesh of an animal. Do you think with that little pointed and sharp molars that you have, can you bite into the flesh of a cow, of a pig, in the neck of a chicken? I don't think so. Okay, ours are primarily flat for mashing food. Okay, we chew our food. Carnivores, they just swallow it. Stomach acidity. Let's enter into the stomach acidity. We have our acidity in the stomach is 20 times weaker than a carnivore. Okay, the pH level of the hydrochloric acid that humans produce they range between 3 and 4 in the pH scale from 0 to 14. Okay, 3 to 4. Okay, all carnivores, their pH is between 1 and 2, way more acidic. Why? Because meat is a source of concentrated protein. Protein needs acidic digestive juices. That's why many people who eat meat, they have acid reflux, or they have acid in their stomachs. Why? Just because their stomach wants to do that? No, it's because it's trying to digest these high protein foods. Okay, and what do a doctor recommend? Oh, take this pill to make it not feel, so you don't feel that thing. Okay, covering a symptom, not resolving the issue, the problem. Once again, okay, tolerance to fat. We don't tolerate high levels of fat. Okay, we don't feel good in our bodies. We get overweight. But carnivores that they eat the entire prey, okay, they're eating the cholesterol of the animal, they're eating all their fat, they're fine. Okay, they thrive on a high fat diet. We don't. Digestive enzymes. Meat eating animals do not produce ptyalin, okay, in the saliva, in the mouth. Why? Because ptyalin is designed to digest starches and sugars. The digestion starts here. They don't produce it because they don't consume sugars, okay? Their sugar metabolism, the glucose and fructose in fruits fuel our cells without creating problems in our pancreas, okay? People who have diabetes and pancreas issues, it's not because they were eating the fruits in the sugars in fruits. It's because they were eating white processed sugar and they were eating too much complex carbohydrates with fats. It's because they were like disaligned with their diet, not because of the natural sugars in fruits. Okay. By the other hand, all meat eaters, all real carnivores don't do well with sugars. They don't. That's just how it works. They're prone to diabetes if they eat a diet that is predominantly fruit or high sugar. Okay? That's why when people don't eat fruits and they eat other foods, they need a dessert at the end, most people. That's why people have a sweet tooth, because the body's asking for these simple carbs, for these simple sugars, because it's the fuel for our cells. Okay? Intestinal flora. Humans have different bacterial colonies, remember? Okay, the microbiome. They're totally different. The ones of a carnivore and the ones of a plant eater. Okay? And now let's talk about our natural appetite. When you're traveling, okay, and you're in the countryside and you see some cows in the field, does your mouth waters? Are you like, oh my God, look at that cow. I want to jump into her neck. Do you see a chicken running around there and you're like, oh my God, like you start watering your mouth? I guess it doesn't happen. And T.C. Fry one time said, put a baby in a crib and put an apple and a bunny rabbit. Tell me, with what is the baby gonna play? And what the baby's gonna eat? Is he gonna eat the bunny rabbit? Or is he gonna eat the apple and play with the bunny rabbit? Okay? Our natural appetite is not to eat animals. Okay? By the other hand, a meat eater waters their mouth when they see a prey. Okay? When they react to the smell of the animal, they're like, oh my God, there's my dinner. That doesn't happen to us. I'm going to take it a step further. If you've ever been near animals, it puts us off their smell. It's like disgusting. Okay? The smell of pigs, the smell of cows, the smell of chicken is like, oh, this doesn't smell good. Okay? By the other hand, if you're in the produce section of a grocery and you see mangoes, oh my God, how do they smell? Wow. Or you have oranges. It's like, oh my God, this smells amazing. Or red peppers or cucumbers or papayas, whatever it is, bananas, all this smells amazing. But if you smell a cow, a chicken, a pig, a fish, who likes the smell of fish? So disgusting. That tells us about our natural instinct. It talks about our true dietary nature. Okay? So most of us love animals. People say, oh, I love animals. They love cats, dogs, horses, and they eat the other animals because they don't do the connection that they're also animals, okay? All kids love animals. Then we force them to start eating them, okay? And nowadays, I'm hearing more often and often stories about kids rejecting to eat meat. They're saying like, Mom, Dad, I don't want to eat animals, okay? Because there is an awakening of consciousness, okay? We do not salivate with the idea of crushing the life of a rabbit, of a squirrel, okay, of a bird, of a chicken. Okay, it's not like, oh my God, this is a beautiful experience. Instead of when you go and like grab some mangoes from the trees, or you collect watermelons or avocados or your lettuce or whatever you do. Okay, we cannot stand the idea of killing animals. Most humans, most adults, and of course kids, they agree that if they had to kill the animal in order to eat it, they would not eat, they would not do it. They would stop eating meat. Okay? And plus, real carnivores, they don't only eat the flesh, they eat the veins, they eat the eyes, they eat the organs, they drink the blood raw, everything raw. I've never seen a human do that. Maybe there is one every once in a while that do crazy things, but this is not normal. Okay, this meat habit is the opposite to our true dietary nature, and is the opposite to our true divine nature. We're spiritual beings. We're here to give love, not to kill animals. The golden rule, thou shalt not kill. There isn't an asterisk at the bottom that says, well, but if it has feathers, it walks in 4 legs, and if it has peaks or if it swims, yes, you can kill them. There isn't that asterisk. Okay, love yourself as you love your others. Okay, others include animals. They are our companions. They're not here because God put them here for us to eat. That's not true. That's nonsense. Why? Because it's not our nature to kill. Our nature is to love, give, and receive love. Okay? We don't enjoy eating bones. Okay? We don't enjoy drinking blood. That's what real carnivores do. Okay? So I hope you start getting your conclusion about this. Our anatomy, our physiology, our biochemistry, and psychology all indicate that we're not carnivores. That's my conclusion. Okay? Carnivores consume most of the animal, not only the flesh, and cooked and with salt and pepper and a nice salsa. Okay? They eat everything. Remember, they eat everything. The organs, the blood, the fluids, and they enjoy it. Okay? So, if we're meant here not only to discover our true dietary nature, but if we're on earth also to make the earth a peaceful place, a happier place. There cannot be peace and happiness all around the globe while we continue killing and killing and killing animals. Especially when all studies, and this is the next class, they show, all research, all science is clear that meats destroy our health. Okay? It's only the medical system that traditional nutritionists and some other governmental bodies that recommend the consumption of meat. Why? Because they are paid by the meat industry. Remember, if I sell this this glass of water, I'm going to tell you that that's the best thing in the world and that you need it. If you don't eat that, you'll die. Okay? There's millions and millions and millions of vegetarians in the world and vegans, and they are walking. They're not dying because of lack of protein. Lack of protein doesn't exist. All living cell has protein. Okay, it's not true that you need animals to supply your needs of protein. It doesn't exist. Okay? So I hope this makes sense. We're completely different to real carnivores. Our intestines, our claws, our jaws, our side grinding jaw, everything. Everything's completely different. Okay? Our instincts. Okay? So I hope this makes sense, and I'll see you in the next class.